On the news tonight, NSCDC arrests suppliers of adulterated petroleum products in Ogun State. Secretary to the government of the Federation tasked newly appointed ministers, patriotism, dedication, and diligence. Plus, Governor Dapo condoles federal government over demise of Chief of Army Staff, loses special advisor on housing. Hello, good evening, and thanks for joining us in Channel 12 News tonight. My name is Darisit Adedo. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ogun State Command, has arrested 2 suppliers of adulterated petroleum products conveyed in 18,000 liters capacity tanker for delivery in Ogun State. The Ogun State Commandant of NSCDC, Remilekun Ekundayo, disclosed that the adulterated product was intercepted at the Ogun State corridor of the command on the way to an undisclosed location in the state.
The eagle eyes of the Oil and Gas Security Unit of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps caught up with the 2 suspects while repairing the damaged tire of the vehicle, and upon investigation discovered that the tanker was conveying 18,000 liters of diesel to an undisclosed location in Ogun State. Upon further investigation, NSCDC says the product is adulterated, capable of causing damage to end users. Hence, both suspects were promptly arrested. Parading the suspects, Ogun State Commandant of the agency, Remilekun Ekundayo, reiterated the zero tolerance of the command to sharp practices that can undermine the mandate of the Corps and cause untold hardship to Nigerians. Commander Ekundayo said the command is more determined to perform its duties of safeguarding critical national infrastructure and protection of lives and property of the citizens.
It is below the standard. It could be a kind of destruction to vehicles that we use them, and also generators and any other machines that might be using these products. So we at the NSCDC, we are investigating, and we found out also that they don't have their way bill. It's not available, so it might be they are diverting the product from where the point they are supposed to supply, or sometimes they take it for black marketers and thereby hiking the prices of fuel and all of that. So we will not condone that.
NSCDC assures that the suspects will be made to face the music if found culpable at the end of investigation. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the 7 newly appointed ministers have been urged to uphold a high level of patriotism, dedication, and diligence towards the actualization of the broad vision of the current administration for the country and its people. Secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, at the induction retreat for the new ministers, encouraged them to shun personal, ethnic, and sectional interests to uphold national cohesion that will provide peace for national unity and development. Kenneth Nani reports.
For the current administration to deliver good governance to Nigerians as promised, much lies on the shoulders of the appointees. With this in mind, the new ministers are settling down to hit the ground running. Here they are getting themselves well acquainted with the development plans and strategies already charted for adequate implementation of the 8 priority areas in line with the renewed hope agenda of the federal government.
The primary purpose of this retreat is to foster a deep understanding of the operational principles, challenges, and expectations that define your responsibilities as ministers.
Entrusted with the mandate of driving the agenda for development, stability, and growth in their sectors, they also need to be well equipped with the insights and guidance necessary for effective performance in the federal government's priority and aspirations.
And they should avoid any semblance of affluence and quest for material things. That way, if they operate on these tenors. They will come out fine and they will be able to deliver.
We have our national security, which is core. We have our food security. Our agriculture is important. Our power sector is core to enabling industrialization. We have priorities among priorities, but indeed, all those 8 priorities are core to Mr. President in ensuring he meets the renewed hope agenda.
There is also the need for the new ministers to understand their roles and align with the goals of the administration to navigate the regulatory frameworks, finance and procurement processes.
Data is very important. Once we have data, we have geospatial distribution of poverty. We can share this data with the state government, with local government, with the private sector, international partners, so that individuals also can intervene. Intervention must be holistic.
They are also expected to promote a culture of integrity within their ministries, as well as uphold the highest standards of ethics and accountability. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government says it is partnering with development partners to deepen financial inclusion, critical to achieving inclusive participation in its social investment programs. At a workshop organized by the Office of the Technical Advisor to the President on Financial Inclusion and Development Partners, Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Adejia, reaffirms the federal government's commitment to implement the ASO Accord Act on Economic and Financial Inclusion. Musa Abubakar reports.
Financial inclusion may have risen to 64% in 2023 from 54% in 2022. The target for the federal government is to close the gap through deliberate actions, including partnerships. This workshop, organized by the Technical Advisor to the President on Economic and Financial Inclusion and Partnership for Learning for All in Nigeria, PLAIN, focused on improving funding for non-state schools and enhancing financial inclusion. The collaboration aims to mobilize financial resources and set up sustainable systems, allowing schools to access loans, grants, and support while fostering financial literacy among parents, teachers, and students.
Majority of those who have been identified as requiring these programs are not financially included. So we need to work very closely with stakeholders, humanitarian affairs, to ensure that we ramp up the pace of extending financial inclusion.
Is in line with the present administration's agenda to brainstorm and see what are the areas, how we can do alignment of our strategy to support this financial inclusion.
This initiative seeks to empower communities and build a future where every child has access to quality education. In Abuja, Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
In another development, the legacies one leaves behind in a place of work will go a long way in speaking volumes of his contributions to the organization. To this end, Shakiruddin Salako, a former contract staff of NTA Abeokuta, is bowing out of service amidst pomp and pageantry with a special 40th birthday lecture in appreciation to the goodness of the Almighty. Omolara Yusuf captured the teats and beats of the event and now reports.
And staff of NTA Abeokuta, what else can one do for Shakiruddin Salako than to rally round and celebrate the quintessential personality for his numerous contributions to the growth of the station, having served NTA Abeokuta for 15 meritorious years. Shakiruddin Salako and his wife decided to celebrate their 40th birthday anniversary in a special way with a special lecture delivered by an erudite Islamic scholar, Ustaz Abdul Rashid Adebayo Hamzat, who dwelt on the essence of prayer and dedication to the service of God. The celebrants were full of appreciation to God for counting them worthy in the land of the living.
Far is somebody that doesn't relate with us as a staff, but as a brother, just like the way our brother would behave at home, a brother that is responsible, a brother that is disciplined.
Well, he's hardworking and very devoted to his journey of life.
I sincerely congratulate Shakiru Salako and his wife on their 40th birthday. I want to wish them well. Shakiru is a very dependable staff.
I only wish him and his wife a wonderful birthday, many happy returns in good health, sound mind, long life and prosperity.
High point of the event was the launching of an album, Agbenuso, which means the advocate, and the presentation of awards of recognition to some deserving Nigerians. Fondly called Afa Akewiola, Shakiruddin Salako was an assistant administrative officer attached to the office of the general manager, NTA Abeokuta, Omulara Yusuf, NTA News.
And Channel 12 News continues after this timeout. Please stay with us.
Scheme where creativity and precision unite from the very beginning. Every pallet is a masterpiece, crafted with precision by our dedicated technicians at Shongai, where precision is not just a standard but a way of life, promising excellence that is 100% sourced and proudly produced right here in Nigeria. Choose Shongai products where precision meets pride.
Proudly Nigerian.
Shongai pallet where quality meets the spirit of craftsmanship.
Looking for electronics store where you can have value for your money? Oni Electronics is it. Oni Electronics, we offer variety of modern electronic gadgets at affordable price. We are located behind the shopping complex opposite General Post Office, NTA Abeokuta. For inquiries, call 0803-350-6850. At Oni Electronics, we do after-sales service, installation, and giving of advice on how best to handle your electronic gadgets for optimal satisfaction. That's not all. Our goods are examined and tested before you leave our store. We ensure your goods are in good condition. Oni Electronics, quality service, value for money. Patronize us today.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says the disturbance on the national grid earlier experienced today is as a result of sudden rise in frequency, and the recovery efforts commenced immediately with electricity supply restored in some parts of the country within 28 minutes. TCN notes that the frequency spike was caused by issues encountered at one of the substations, also due to the ongoing repair work on the transmission lines along the Shiroro-Mando axis, major upgrades at the Jeba transmission substations, and the restoration of the second Ugwaji transmission line. Some degree of instability in the system, TCN says, is likely to persist until all major works are completed. TCN regrets impact on these disturbances and asks for the understanding and patience of the consumers as it remains committed to improving the reliability of electricity supply. The Ogun State Governor Dr. Abiodun has commiserated with the federal government and the Nigerian Army over the death of Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, the late Chief of Army Staff. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Information and Strategy, Kayode Akimade, the Governor described late Lagbaja as a patriotic and gallant officer who gave his best in the service of his fatherland. Governor Abiodun further eulogized Lagbaja's sense of coordination and team spirit, saying that the late Army Chief redefined the tenets of military engagement in the manner and speed he tackled terrorism and banditry with huge success. The Governor acknowledged that the death of the late Chief of Army Staff was indeed a colossal loss to the military and Nigeria at large. He prayed that God should grant his soul eternal rest and immediate family the fortitude to bear the irreplaceable loss. He also commiserated with the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Nigerian Armed Forces, Governor Ademola Adeleke, and the entire Ilobu community in Osun State, the state of origin. We say may his gentle soul rest in peace. The Ogun State government has announced the death of the special advisor to the governor on housing, Tajuddin Egunjobi. The governor described late Egunjobi as a loyal party faithful who was also diligent in the discharge of his duties. Above all, a humble, hardworking, dependable and reliable person. Governor Abiodun noted that the success story of his administration in the housing sector cannot be complete without mentioning the contributions of late Egunjobi. The governor noted that his administration would accord the deceased the recognition he deserves for his name to continue to be remembered for his service to humanity. While responding on behalf of the family, an associate of the deceased, Noah Tajuddin, appreciated the state government for the support to the family. We also say, may his gentle soul rest in peace. And that report wraps up Channel 12 News. Thank you for watching. Good evening.
At Sona Plastics, customers' needs are our priority. We give you all the attention you need. With us, our customers are king. Located at kilometer 40, Lagos Abeokuta Expressway, Ijoko, Ogun State. Sona Plastics Limited. We're just a phone call away. Contact us through 080-2783-5332. You can reach us through any of our lines and social media handles. Sona Plastics Limited. Come, let us treat you like a king.